And it was an address to people from all, not just Unification Church members, but ambassadors for peace, different leaders from different government officials, people from all over the region and all over the world, because it was also broadcast simultaneously through the internet. And what Mother Moon was calling for us to do is according to our vision for the year 2020. We have a goal, a vision, working toward bringing transformation in the world. And transformation in the world, bringing peace in the world, starts with us, right? The very beginning place. And so she called on these ambassadors for peace and political officials and people to go beyond themselves and challenge us to go beyond ourselves as well, to be people who can manifest that ideal. In January 1st, at the beginning of the new year, Mother Moon gave us a motto. Encouraged us to, for the vision of 2020, we should have a motto that can guide us, give us inspiration, and lead us forward. Can anybody tell me what that motto is? You got it memorized? Okay, well today we want to memorize the motto, okay? Because what's the purpose of mottos? Mottos give us tools for growth. Remind us where we're going, affirmations, and focus us. So the first part, the very, very beginning is, True Mother says, as the true owners. What does it mean to be a true owner? Actually, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The people who truly take responsibility, the one who take care of, who possess, the true owners. So what do you think? It's the true owners of what? You've heard this before. The true owners of Chonoguk, which is the Korean word for the heavenly kingdom, God's kingdom on the earth. So, recognizing ourselves as true owners, as the true people who are citizens, owners, possessors of the heavenly kingdom, what are we supposed to do? Right? That's the next one. So, what do you think? It probably has something to do with what? Love. Right. Love, that's an easy answer, right? It has to do with true love. So, as owners of Chonoguk, the heavenly kingdom, let's practice what? I thought you were going to say tennis. Let's practice true love, right? Let's practice living for the sake of others, benefit for the others. And let's resemble God, our heavenly parent, who's our creator. So here's the motto. And here's the theme that we want to use to kind of guide us and to move us forward. So let's all read it together. As the true owners of Chonoguk, let us practice true love and resemble the heavenly parent, our creator. All right. So you got it memorized? Yes. Okay, well, there'll be a quiz at the end. So as true owners, Mother Moon was encouraging people, take responsibility for building this heavenly kingdom. Take responsibility for making the changes in the world, the changes that are needed in the world and our environment. She talked about some of the environmental problems that we're seeing. But one of the themes, there are three main themes that she repeated over and over again in her talk. And the first one was, in order for us to bring true peace in the world, bring real change in the world, God needs people to stand up and stand on the front line, to be in the forefront. Over and over. God needs you to be in the forefront, not kicking back, taking it easy. The people who are standing on the front line. Now, historically, the front line was kind of a really scary thing. When you think about wars, the people who were on the front line, they were usually the first people to die, right? They were the cannon fodder. Well, God doesn't want any of us to be cannon fodder, right? But standing on the front line of the battle that we're talking about is the battle between God and Satan. And the front line is actually within ourselves. And then from ourselves, it's in our family. In our family, it's in our community. The front line. Standing at the forefront to to bring about positive change in our environment and in the world. Now, it means facing the hard things, doing the hard tasks. Maybe not the tasks that we're most comfortable or that we want to do, but taking on the things that are challenging. Being in the forefront means oftentimes we're a pioneer. We're breaking through things that most people say, oh no, I'll just kick back. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to stay comfortable. Let me go home and turn on the TV and just kick back. I want to be comfortable. Comfortable maybe is not the best way if we want to bring about real change in the world. We need to be able to challenge ourselves to go into uncomfortable places, especially spiritually. A lot of times I'm more comfortable just being alone. Give me a mountaintop. Let me just sit up there. I'll be very nice. I enjoy that kind of life. Not all of us would. But each one of us has our own front line. And what Mother Moon is calling us and encouraging us is, please don't retreat. Stand on the front line. Be at the forefront. Be willing to take on the difficult tasks, the things that our conscience guides us to do. Well, staying on the front line, she calls us to be standards and examples of true love. We're committed as a movement and worldwide building a culture of heart. She talked about the examples in government, the abuse of industry that's polluting the world, all kinds of things that greed has guided people, not thinking for the benefit of others, but just thinking about myself, being dominated by selfish desire, self-centered desires. We are the people who need to show and pioneer a difficult way sometimes, living for the benefit of others. And yet, that's where the real fulfillment in our life comes from. When we invest and make a positive difference in our environment, in the lives of the people around us, this is where genuine joy and fulfillment comes from. This is where we're going to find real happiness, is living lives of true love, lives for the benefit of others, even sometimes at the sacrifice of myself. That willingness. And then the world is looking for examples of people of purity. It's looking for examples of healthy families, right? We have a huge challenge in the families, the breakdown of families. God is looking for people who can show the way, the example of how to overcome crime, the selfishness that dominates people. Examples that lead the way. And then the third main point she made and emphasized, that we need to share the truth and true parents with the world. In order for people to overcome the problem of selfishness, in order to overcome the problem of pollution and crime and the evil of the world, people need a new perspective. There's a lot of people who are out there very active. They're trying to they know I'm going to bring a positive change in the world. But they're guided by a mistaken ideology, a worldview that doesn't include other people, a worldview that's very me-centered or selfish, or doesn't include the understanding that we're spiritual beings, much more than just a physical body. We're spiritual beings. Worldviews that see, all that matters is material and matter. These kinds of worldviews fool people into thinking, I'm going to find happiness and fulfillment, I'm going to do good by focusing on just the material things, or just myself, or just my congregation, just my group, just my ethnic group, just the people that are like me. When God is calling us to see from that much larger perspective, and this is why we emphasize so much over and over, let's daily study the truth. Let's daily fill our minds with God's perspective, so when we look at the challenges that we face, we can understand and see things from a higher perspective and take action on that. The world needs that kind of vision. People need a worldview that is able to embrace all different types of ideologies and perspectives, that can bring harmony between science and religion, You realize they complement each other. In fact, they need each other. And that truly living for the benefit of others is a life of fulfillment and true joy in our lives. The divine principle, and again, on our Saturday morning divine principle study sessions, I encourage you, just come. It's very informal. We spend a lot of time sharing. We even put out the invitation for our interfaith group, too. And sharing different perspectives on challenges and looking at how does the unification perspective apply to these challenges in our life. We need to share this truth. Not be shy, not hide our light under a lamp, but be people who share the truth. We have so much to offer, so let's offer it. So these are the things that we're calling. Jesus gave the command. He talked about the greatest commandments, right? You know, we all talk about this over and over. What are the two great commandments? What's the first one? To love God, right? Absolutely. And the second is to love our neighbor, to love people. Here's the verse in Matthew. It says, "You shall love the Lord your God," not just love Him, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. Other verses include all your strength, everything. This is the great and the first commandment. That's our starting place. In order to accomplish these things, in order to stand on that front line, we need our connection with God. In order to be able to live lives of examples of true love, we need that connection, that relationship experience with God. To be able to share the truth, we need to be able to show it and then teach it and share that example of truth. And then the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets. Our life can be truly fulfilled and happy when we center on these two things: our connection with God and our love and our relationship with the people around us. So, habits to cultivate as owners of this heavenly kingdom, as people who possess it and have it to share. Well, number one, let's invest in that quality, quiet time with God. Commit ourselves to just communication with God. Maybe sometimes it's meditation, sometimes it's active prayer. But quality time with God. Not just that quick, perfunctory prayer that we do before we eat. Please bless this food. I'm really hungry. I hope it's good. Let's invest a little bit more. Quality time, like God, Heavenly Parent, Father, Mother, God. The challenges, what I went through today, and how can I love this person? And really explore and discuss, and meditate. Sometimes it's meditation, sometimes it's conversation. But it's unique for all of us. But please, invest in that quality, quiet time with God. And then on that foundation, we also need to be feeding ourselves spiritually. Feeding ourselves food too. We can have a great lunch afterwards, right? But feeding ourselves spiritually on a daily basis. We need to build it into our habits, in our lifestyle. The word we use in our church tradition is hunduke. It's a Korean word for gathering and studying. Studying God's Word so that we're always being nourished and always growing. Making it a habit to be fed. Studying God's truth. And then that's our vertical connection. And on that foundation, that vertical connection, let's spread it horizontally. Let's love others. Let's see things from God's perspective. Let's love and care for the people around us in the environment. Let's look for how can I make a positive difference in the world around me? What service can I do today? How can I make a positive change in my environment, in any circumstance I'm in? And how can I share the truth of the principle in a way that's natural, that applies to people's lives, that helps us to overcome the challenges that we face on a daily basis? This is at the core. Loving God. Work on that connection with God. Loving our neighbor. Working on that connection through love, through service, and through sharing and educating about the truth. So, quiz time. Right? So the motto for 2020. What was it? Okay. I hear true owners in there somewhere. Right? Okay. As true owners, of Chanoguk, the heavenly kingdom, Chanoguk, let us practice tennis.
True love.
True love. No, it's not tennis. Basketball. No. True love. True love. As the true owners of Chanoguk, let us practice true love and resemble the heavenly parent, our Creator. Okay, let's all say it together. As the true owners of Chanoguk, let us practice true love and resemble the heavenly parent, our Creator. Okay. So to remind you, here you go. Maybe you can give this to the other side. One for one side, one for the other side. So, hey, something you could stick on your refrigerator, put it in your purse, put it in your wallet. Just remind ourselves, because we are really owners. We should think of ourselves. We are the people who own, that possess the heavenly kingdom. Well, let's don't be selfish with it. Let's share that. By practicing true love, living for the benefit of others, making a positive difference in the world around us, and coming to reflect God and God's heavenly nature. I want to close with this. Next week we're going to be celebrating the Lunar New Year. It'll be the first year of Chanoguk on the Foundation Day. We'll be celebrating it Friday morning. We'll have a gathering, but next Sunday we're going to have a party, right? To celebrate the Lunar New Year, the New Year, and the first day of the Lunar New Year. What do we call that? That's the old term. Interesting. Remember, in the beginning it was God's Day. Let's celebrate God's Day. The first day of the year, God's Day. And then we expanded to True God's Day. So really, truly celebrate God's Day. And then we had True Mother taking the leadership after Father Moon passed away. Now, True Mother, she says, okay, let's take it to a higher level. So the new name is not just God. Who is God? God is our heavenly parent. Father, Mother, not just the man up in the sky. God is our loving parent, the harmonized being, both masculine and feminine. So, we're celebrating Heavenly Parents' Day. Yeah, God, our heavenly parent. So we'll celebrate that. So, as we end this Lunar New Year, it's also time for us to reflect and think, how am I doing? How am I doing in my connection with God? How am I doing in my connection or my relationships with the people around me? Let's reflect and invest in it and make a new beginning coming this Friday with the beginning of the new Lunar New Year. So, I want to close with this quote from Father Moon. He's encouraging us. He says, please become true princes and princesses. Sounds good, right? Princes and princesses who live in attendance to God as your true parent. For God, He is the peace king of the multitudes. Let us build the everlasting peace kingdom by attending the King of cosmic peace and fulfilling the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters, patriots, saints, and divine sons and daughters. Adieu. Let's make it happen. Adieu. Please join me in prayer. Good morning, God, our loving heavenly parent. We're so grateful for your presence in our lives and the constant effort that you bring to help us to grow, help us to live lives of fulfillment and true joy and satisfaction. We're so sorry when we look at the evil of the world and how far this world is from your original ideal, an ideal of true families, of true love, of communities filled with people who know you and love each other as one great human family. We pray that as we end this Lunar New Year, this lunar year, the first year of Chanoguk, that we can redetermine ourselves to start fresh, recognizing where our shortcomings have been, and deepen that relationship and that connection, that we can truly inherit, that we can truly live out and practice that vision of owners of your heavenly kingdom. Possessing that heavenly kingdom, heavenly parent, we want to share that with the world. So, gratefully, as your sons and daughters, as blessed central families, we offer this prayer. Amen and adieu. Let's do it. Okay, please, let's turn to your neighbor and share your thoughts about being those peace kings, right? The champions, the owners of the Chonoguk and the heavenly kingdom.